You've got 60,000 people on a waiting list, 15 to 20,000 people living on the street in New South Wales, and about 10,000 refugees waiting for homes. Now, where the hell are you going to put, if there are no homes for them, where are you going to put nearly 5,000 people from here? My name's Richard Wicks. I was one of 4 siblings, 5 inclusive in the family of children. My next brother to me, he was killed in the Vietnam War, where I served myself as an army officer. I have 2 sisters who both served in the war in Vietnam as nurses. My mother was also a military veteran. She was a nurse in the Second World War. Waterloo is the largest public and social housing estate in Australia, in the Sydney area, I should say. Here we have 2,336 units on site, over area covering 17.5 hectares. With that, there is 4,600 residents living here in one of the most diverse communities in the Southern Hemisphere. Here we have 47 nationalities, all living all together. It amazes me because I see here where the Jewish ladies group quite often have luncheons with the Muslim lady groups. Now, I've never seen this anywhere else in the world. In December 2015, all of the tenants, all of us here at Waterloo, received a letter from the then Minister for Housing under FACS, Family and Community Services. We received a letter from Brad Hazzard telling us that they're going to redevelop Waterloo. All the buildings will be knocked down and rebuilt. And stating then in that same document that residents will need to move out, but they can come back within 5 or 6 years. Well, you can imagine the effect that had on the senior citizens, where here about 60% of the occupants of Waterloo Village is senior citizens over the age of 60, right up to the age of 99. Well, when you talk about a 6-year turnaround to go out and come back again, the only place that they're going to go to is to a cemetery, because they'll never see their home again. And the one thing that holds people together is community. Once you move away from one community, especially for an elder person, it's impossible to build another community. And this is what keeps them going. The elderly people, the elderly and the frail people, all they've got is their community. That's their life. Other than that, they've just got 4 walls and a TV set.
We help each other. Therefore, it's our life. But have a look, these Russian-speaking people. And if we will go far away, what will be happen? We will die. We will die.
In 2016, I attended a meeting at a large community centre where there was well over 450 people attended. Yeah, that's all they could fit in there. And the minister turned up with his entourage. He had the public housing staff dressed up T-shirts with love hearts on them saying, "I love housing." When it came to question time, the first question came from an elderly lady, and she said, "You said in your letter, will we have to move out and come back in 5 years' time?" She said, "My question is in 3 parts. Where are we going? And what guarantee we will be coming back? And if we're coming back, what are we coming back to?" And he said, "Well, firstly, you can go wherever you like." Then one man interjected and he said, "Hey, well, I want to go to Vaucluse. I want a penthouse there with a spa bath and a sauna."
We have just wasted 50 minutes. People came here to find out what the hell is going on.
Please. Sir, listen to me. This meeting has been called to allow the community to have their say, not for a few people to simply scream and overtalk everybody else.
Well, the moment he said that, the meeting was over. I had to get around and look at what's the best way to deal with this, with the government. Shall we become activists and go out and demonstrate, stop the traffic, go on Parliament House, make a lot of noise? All we're going to do is waste a couple of years making a lot of noise. But what's the good of the voice if nobody's listening? The only funding we received was donations from pensioners to pay for stationery and communications, internet service and so forth. I don't see us losing because we've already won. I battled with Land and Housing Corporation to get free space down here to set up a future planning centre so that the people, we know we can't stop the redevelopment and you'd have to be a lunatic to think that one could. But what we can do is to ensure that what comes out of the redevelopment are absolute the people's needs. So they get the benefits out of it. Not the private sector gets the benefit out of it, but the housing people and the elderly, the frail, the people with special needs. We've got the launching of the Light Art Show. Now, people would say, how does putting coloured lights in your windows help you with the redevelopment or make you feel better? Well, I was thinking that too myself until the whole process started to move and people started installing them. And each day as we see more and more installed in the lights, in the windows, you look out there of a night time and you see some flashing lights, you see some fading in and out, and all the ones of different colours on all the lights. And when you look at it, you can see a mood there, a feeling that overcomes you. All the people, their sufferings and their anxieties and their disappointment, and how vulnerable they are. You know, because they're pensioners, they've got no voice anymore. Nobody wants to listen to them, least of all the government. And then you give them a bit of hope, and you see the expressions on their face and how they thank you. And you know, sometimes I feel humbled, but most times I feel embarrassed. I feel embarrassed to call myself an Australian sometimes, to see our Australian government, the way they're treating people here. You know, I think I served 12 years in the military and 4 tours of active duty, going to help people in other countries to solve their problems, to get a better life, when in all the time, the real war that we're experiencing is here now.
Africa, sing it. I haven't even been there for more than a minute. In Bali, where I'm born, I was taken by the spirits. Up in the air to down under over here. We live here, said we live here. I left my mama Alice down, they say she's not there. Still don't believe it, but I always drop a tear. See, I'm raised from a struggle, got no time to fear. I'm the lady of the single parent family, the chosen one out of 3, not meant to live happily. Take a look around, the ambition's not actively, not who I have to be. Drug deals and handcuffs, that's my example. I'm set to be a sample. Education canceled, this chick on standstill. Time to be real, lift up the skill. Said you don't really know who I am. Situations grow to become who I am. This really ain't a show if you know who I am. Never let it go if you must give a damn who I am. I said you don't really know